Hey everybody, how you doing? I discovered something a couple days ago. So a think tank put out a report on TikTok. Okay, there have been many before, and mainstream media was all over it. So I was curious, like, wow, TikTok is pushing suicidal ideation right now on 13, 14-year-olds. They went undercover, and it's pretty bad, and also incel culture. And they even said Andrew Tate is their god, which is, they use this term red pill movement, which I thought was weird to associate something like that, which is so broad, with incel culture. And so I looked into it, and now I know why, like, for instance, Macron in France and this think tank, etc., are so alarmed about TikTok all of a sudden. The reason is there was just legislation passed in the EU just last year. It's called the Digital Services Act, and some of it's good, pretty common sense. But what they're doing is they're revising their definition of illegal content and harmful content. So the sponsor of this legislation was Ursula von der Leyen, who is the president of the European Union. And if you saw her in 2021, she was advocating for a mandate. And so you can bet that the definition of harmful content is probably going to be tightened if these guys get their way. Okay, so I went on the website of this think tank, and I went to their donations, and I went to see who are their donors. And my jaw dropped. But it shouldn't have. Of course. Frances Haugen, the whistleblower who got more attention than anyone in the last 15 years except for the Ukraine phone call impeachment whistleblower. She spoke before the European Parliament when they were about to pass the Digital Services Act, the same one that this NGO, ECHO, wants the US Congress to use as a blueprint. When Haugen first came before Congress, I thought maybe she was going to expose Facebook for removing content the FBI erroneously said was Russian disinformation. Seems like that would be a direct threat to the sacred voting process. But no, there's another agenda here. I'm going to read to you from the article in TechCrunch that covered her visit. Her core message was the same dire warning she sounded on both sides of the Atlantic. Facebook prioritizes profit over safety, choosing to ignore the amplification of toxic content that's harmful to individuals, societies, and democracy. And that regulatory oversight is thus essential to rein in and make such irresponsibly operated platform power accountable, with no time for lawmakers to lose in imposing rules on social media. My journalism professors would be so upset. This isn't even a direct quote, and it's total editorializing on the part of TechCrunch. But what's not to like about removing harm? Well, when it's selectively done, and there's a hidden agenda, plenty. Anyone can see that big tech doesn't remove enough harmful content to children. In most cases, the rules are already in place, but not the will or the manpower. Since the fall of 2021, when this woman came before Congress, there's been a massive global operation to change the way information is shared. This study is but one link in the chain. Stay tuned for Frances Haugen to be testifying before Congress again in a push to get the legislation passed that is a favorite of the same person who brought you the district attorneys and prosecutors in all of America's big cities. I'm Tatiana Prophet for Back to Facts. Remember, this is where you get news before it hits mainstream media, if it ever does. Please remember to subscribe, like, and above all, keep calm and share complete facts. See you soon.